Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her genes.
All right, welcome to the Harmony Channel. That is the American Eagle, Sydney Sweeney, blue jean commercial that caused a lot of controversy over the past couple of weeks. I am Jason Whitlock, your host of Harmony, joined again by Allie, Beth, Stuckey from the Relatable podcast on Blaze TV. Allie, there seems to be a lot of fixation, not just as it relates to Sydney Sweeney, but the conservatives. Hey, we're winning the culture war. Sydney Sweeney is conservative and she's hot. And there's these videos of sorority girls dancing and everyone's kind of celebrating that. I want to play just one of these clips of sorority girls. Yeah, I think we're playing it now. You got all these different videos. Is that at a stadium or is that, or is that in front of? Anyway, everybody is celebrating hot conservative girls. I'm not sure how I feel about it because I think it leans into men's lustful nature. It's certainly a big struggle of mine. And so, you know, I'm glad that Sydney Sweeney isn't afraid of being a Republican, but I'm not sure if this is some sort of great victory for us. And anyway, your thoughts, and then I got a couple follow-ups.
Okay, so I think that we can hold multiple thoughts in our mind about this because I do think it is layered. So on the one hand, do I think it is a better indicator of where society is that we have Sydney Sweeney modeling jeans for American Eagle than some obese non-binary person? Yes. Like, I am glad that we are at a point where we can say, wow, this person is objectively beautiful. She's in shape. She looks great in jeans, and beautiful people who are in shape sell clothes. Okay, at least we're back to the point to where we can see that the body positivity movement went in such an extreme toxic direction where we tried to pretend that obesity was beautiful and normal and healthy, and it's not. So I applaud that, okay? And I also kind of applaud American Eagle for just putting like a white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes in an ad. So few people do that. If you do that nowadays, then they at least have to be gay or something in order for you to get your intersectionality points. And so the fact that American Eagle just chose someone who is beautiful and white is kind of amazing. Okay, so you have that. And then I think people are reacting to the sorority girl content the same way, although that's not really new. They've been doing those kinds of elaborate dances for a long time. I don't think that really has any, I don't think that's some kind of indication of Western civilization, but I do think that last year, a lot of people I saw on X, they were criticizing the sorority girls, saying that this is the fall of Western civilization and this is why men can't get married. And then some of the same people today are saying, oh, this is so wonderful. We're back, baby. And really, I just think that, okay, we need to acknowledge some things as Christians. Yes, beauty is good. Yes, women are beautiful, and it's okay to say that. And it's okay to admire beauty and appreciate beauty and recognize its value in society. I think that's fine. While at the same time, being able to acknowledge that sexual objectification and lust and immodesty and selling your body for money, which is essentially what Sydney Sweeney is doing in these ads, is wrong. And actually is part of what led us to this point in the sexual revolution where there is no right and wrong, and therefore there's no male and female. There's a lot of conservatives, I would say, in the MAGA camp who just want to go back to like 1998, who think if we just went back there, everything would be fine. And things were better then, but we were already on the path to degeneracy we are now. So I think the only way forward is a moral revolution and a spiritual awakening, and that's got to include an anti-sexual objectification stance for those of us who are serious about the country becoming better.
Totally agree with you. And the only path that way for men is you really do have to get into the Word. The Word will change you. because I know, like, for me, I can't believe I'm even having this conversation and what I'm about to say based off my previous behavior. I was someone that could get on Instagram and look at the women that showed off their butts. I could get lost for 30, 45 minutes at a time. And now I speed past that as quickly as I can. And because of the word, it's like I'm more attracted to women that present themselves more conservatively. It's like I love this basketball player, like a sister or whatever, but she's an attractive basketball player, Sophie Cunningham. My only wish is that she'd put more clothes on Instagram. I'd find her far more attractive if she leaned more into the way she was raised and blah, blah. But I've also seen, and I don't know how I'm sure our Twitter algorithms are quite different. But on my Twitter, I get constant daily influencers that say, hey, if I believe in MAGA and America and Donald Trump, and I will follow you if you follow me. And it's generally speaking some attractive woman with some pretty picture of her, not too provocatively dressed, but there seems to be a strategy by conservative political people to paint the party and the movement as we got hot girls over here and they got blue-haired, obese women over there. And I don't know how I feel about it. I do know I want to go onto Twitter without getting a steady stream of just hot girls baiting me into being the worst version of myself.
Well, you know, we have a party that right now is led by Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And I appreciate both of them a lot in a lot of different ways. Like, I think that they have helped point Western civilization in the right direction. Again, I voted for Trump several times, okay? But they are part of this crowd that they might not like the trans stuff, but that's about it. When it comes to social and cultural stuff, they're not where we are. And in fact, like, you have Elon Musk posting basically like anime porn type stuff on his own account to millions of people. I think we know probably generally where Donald Trump stands on like the objectification of women. And so, you know, it's a little bit sometimes, I think, for those of us over here like you and me, a difficult case to make, because it is a good marketing strategy to be the hot political party. You know, hotness is conservative coded now, and it might be an okay strategy to win elections. My concern about it is that a lot of these very beautiful, like they are very beautiful female influencers who suddenly have popped up and have so many followers on TikTok and Instagram, they don't have original thoughts, and they're pro-choice. And they're pro-sexual degeneracy, and they're pro-LGBTQ. The only thing that they might be anti is like the COVID vaccine and masks, and maybe they like Donald Trump a little bit more than they liked Kamala Harris. But I'm like, that's not enough, you know? If we have a conservative movement that's filled with people like that, that's not enough to change the country. We're not going to move in the right direction because those people don't have any moral foundation. And if we can't agree on the foundation, then you can't build anything. That's true in construction, and that's true in conservatism.
Can you win if a candidate emerged that reflected not all of, but just more of our sensibilities? Can you even win that way? Could if there was a president? Because again, it's like the spokesman for Donald Trump, Carolyn Levitt, or attractive woman, no different than Trump's last, an attractive woman. They all present themselves very professionally, but if someone lean more into our values and said, like, hey, we're not going to objectify women, we're not going to do this or that, would they be seen as too square, too nerdy, too,
I think that's a good question. Well, you know, I think about J.D. Vance, you know, and I don't think he's everywhere that you and I are. And obviously he's Catholic, and so different theological beliefs, but I'm pretty sure he's a pretty traditional Catholic and probably does align with us when it comes to a lot of gender role things. And as a practicing Catholic, he has to agree with us on the definition of marriage. And so I could see, if he were more overt about his social beliefs, I could see him being a good representative of that, a persuasive representative of that. I could see him being persuasive to people that have a pretty big impact on young men, like a Theo Vaughn, people like that, who are kind of willing to question the progressive zeitgeist. I think that we could move in that direction. I really do. I mean, you have some of these comedians outspoken now, as you are, against lust, against pornography. I think that's a good sign. I mean, we've got a ways to go, obviously, especially when it comes to the definition of marriage and all the things you and I believe. But I'm actually kind of positive that we could move in that direction with the right people at the helm.
I'm going to throw one last candidate at you, and I'm going to let you go. We'll talk about him a little bit, and I'll let you go. But the person that I'm fascinated by isn't a Christian, but he's the one that has the personality and seems to me the courage to say what he actually thinks, is Vivek. When I saw him host a town hall in Cincinnati and call out the black racial idolaters, I was like, holy cow. We needed this for a long time. Why is it a Hindu guy doing this and not, a Christian standing there on biblical values? What is your take on Vivek?
A lot of things I like about Vivek. He is probably one of the most articulate people in political life. I mean, I think that's why he probably stopped you in your tracks, because it's like, whoa, he's good at making the compelling case. I think J.D. Vance also is very articulate in that way, and we need that kind of energy and charisma. Now, Vivek and I probably differ on a lot theologically. And if we differ theologically, we probably differ socially too. I think where he completely lost me was with the H-1B and immigration debate on X, where he basically reduced American culture to Boy Meets World and the Backstreet Boys, rather than understanding what it actually means to be an American and why we should prioritize American workers in the American-born workforce. And that would be my fear there. I think immigration is one of my very top issues. I want someone who is extremely aggressive when it comes to immigration and prioritizing American well-being. I don't think Vivek is our guy when it comes to that.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ask one other follow-up, because I think you and I are in lockstep as it relates to immigration. And we're going to be accused of some kind of American tribalism. I don't care. And I don't color code. I want people here that want to come to America because they want to assimilate into traditional American culture.
Yep.
And I don't care if the media frames that as white. That's a lie. And it's just Christian culture. There are unchristian, unbiblical behaviors that drive everyone crazy. And if that makes me tribal, then I'm going to be tribal for Christian values, and because I connote that or connect that to American values. Yep. And so we're going to take some arrows for that, but I'm right there with you. Final thought, share the arrows again. Final thought on that, and then remind everybody again about share the arrows.
Yeah, to connect exactly what you're saying, I'm sure that you saw on X, and maybe you talked about it, the video of the truck driver in Florida who made an illegal U-turn and ended up killing 3 people. 3 people are dead in the state of Florida. Their families affected forever. While it turns out that this person is an illegal alien from India, he was going to be deported by the Trump administration. But then after he expressed fear for returning to India, he was actually shielded from deportation. So he's been here illegally, somehow became a truck driver, ended up violating our laws and killed 3 people. That is all due to what I call toxic empathy. But this person, what struck a lot of people about this video is that this person expressed zero remorse. There is a camera that's showing him as he's driving this truck, zero remorse, and zero fear, zero panic, zero concern, no sadness. I'm not saying that this is indicative of an entire country at all, but what I am saying is that a high value of human life is distinctly Christian. And it is only because of the underlying Christian values that Western civilization and the United States have valued for so long that we see something like that and think that's wrong. That we should care when people die. We should care when we hurt people. We should be conscientious. Not every culture believes that. In fact, if you look at the traffic and the traffic laws of most non-Western countries, it is chaos. And I know that seems small, but it's not. It's major. And so when you import millions of people from cultures who do not have the same order and the same social contract and value of human life as we do, of course, it is going to change your country. And I just don't want anyone out there to ever feel guilty about caring about that. You can care about your neighborhood. You can care about your community. You can care about American citizenship. Let them call you what they will call you. You have every right and responsibility to do that. And if you feel alone in that, if you feel like, wow, I'm the only one who's willing to care about that and speak up about that, come to Share the Arrows. Because at Share the Arrows, you will not be alone. You will look around and you will see, right now we've got 4,100 women who are going to be there. We hope to get to 5,000. You are going to look around and see thousands of like-minded women who are singing alongside you, learning alongside you, and you're going to realize you're not alone. So go to sharethearrows.com, get the courage that you need to keep going. That's sharethearrows.com. And Jason, thank you so much. Thanks for what you do, your courage and your clarity, and for allowing me to come on your show.
Allie, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Good luck. I'm sure you'll have no problem getting to 5,000 people. That's Allie Beth Stuckey. That is, and I'm glad I'm gonna say this while Allie's gone, is this is a traditional woman presenting herself modestly. The beauty just radiates. And so, I feel, the way I feel about Shamika is how I feel about Allie Beth Stuckey. And they come at things from a different approach. Shamika's a bit more spicy, but they present themselves like women. They don't have to get half naked, and I know Shamika's got the book, but they don't have to present themselves half naked to be attractive. They radiate, there's a beauty that comes from embracing a woman's true role, embracing biblical values. It's no different than, you'll see these women that lost all this weight, and you're like, holy cow, look how beautiful she is. And the same thing is happening, for me. The more weight I lose, the better I look. There's a beautiful person underneath this blubber. But when you put on the full armor of God for men and for women, you just look better. And you're just, so anyway, I'm a huge Allie Beth Stuckey fan. And I'm saying all that to say, you don't gotta be Sydney Sweeney and, be in a bikini or a bathing suit somewhere in order to be beautiful. You can be fully clothed with no cleavage, but God will radiate through you and you'll be beautiful. Anyway, I'm just an old man barking at the clouds. We'll play some harmony and we'll see you next time.
So divided, stop fighting and stand tall. We used to be a nation, one united. Now we're headed for down.